This number one thing will destroy your portfolio. This will destroy any chance of you succeeding in this industry, and I want to cover it. So I've wanted to cover this for a good while, and I haven't really had a bit of a chance, but I've got a good spot to cover it. So I want to talk about FOMOing and how it destroys your portfolio. So first of all, I just want to say, if you're new here, please do consider subscribing. These videos do take a long time to make, so please do consider subscribing. It means a lot to me, but let's begin. Alright, so FOMOing, we all know what FOMOing is. It's fear of missing out. But how does it translate to Pokemon investing? How it translates to Pokemon investing is when you see forums or communities, or maybe your friends or your family, and they're making money off of something that you don't have access to. If a specific card is blowing up and you don't own it, you feel this FOMO to buy into it. But the problem is, it takes you off course. So what I naturally do in order to avoid FOMO is, first of all, I always make sure to give 48 to 72 hours to really decide if that move is the move I want to make. But on top of that, I always make sure to stay in my lane. I'm very vocal about what I invest in, and I do well at it. I'm not trying to catch every single rabbit. I'm just trying to catch one. If you try to catch every rabbit, you will end up catching neither of them. So when we translate this to Pokemon, let's look at Chinese cards, Japanese cards, English market, then your Chinese exclusives and different things. You can't learn them all, right? Your best bet is to excel at one of them. And for me, I am really good at English, Pokemon, and picking good sets. I guess I'm just good at foreseeing good sets. When Future Strike was the cheap set in Sword and Shield, it was actually the set I bought up the most. You see, Evolving Skies was about that 400 range, then like Lost Origin, Astral Rains, Chilling Rainbow and Stars, those were all talked about as investments. Fusion Strike, not so much. People like Fusion Strike, but people just didn't really invest in it a whole ton. I kind of saw the potential in it, even though it's such a rejected product in the investing space. I want to be clear, in the investing space, I kind of saw that it had a lot of potential, and I jumped on it. And I bought 22 boxes for $100 each. These are the kind of plays that I'm really good at. Paldean Fates is another good one. Like, am I the only YouTuber to, first of all, not only talk about Paldean Fates so highly and talk about it in almost every single video, but also, I'm pretty sure that I'm the only YouTuber that has brought up the discussion that it might actually overtake 151. I was sort of on the fence, like I didn't really fully know, but I did bring up the proposal multiple times. This might overtake 151. I don't know anyone else who has made that prediction, right? But I don't know Japanese. I don't know Chinese. I don't bother with them because I can excel at foreshadowing what set people will like in the future. But not only that, I guess I'm just tuning my own horn here. I was accurately able to predict the very month that Paldea Evolved would reach $250 by the month, years in advance. How I did that was looking at past performance from similar sets. I used Lost Origin as an example, because Lost Origin, the same artist made the top 2 chases inside. So I looked at how long it took Lost Origin, and I applied that to Paldea Evolved, and it matched perfectly. Now, I wish I had some sort of text so I could show you guys, but you guys are just going to have to trust me on that one, so yeah, I mean, you guys can trust me. I'm pretty reliable, right? But I want to make this video, and even if it helps one person, it would have been worth it. There's for sure a couple people watching this video, and they're just FOMOing into everything. They're buying 151 Chinese Gengar, and then they're buying those new Japanese boxes, and then they're buying undervalued Chinese cards, and then they're buying Bubble Mew. They're just constantly jumping into new things. And I want to make this video to just really help put people in a direction. If you excel at Japanese exclusives, make sure you're the best at it. If you excel at Chinese exclusive and Chinese boxes, make sure you're the best at it. Don't try to tap into all these different markets. Don't try to become the best at all of them. Just try to do really well at one of them. So me personally, I have had multiple opportunities to buy Pokemon Center ETBs at very good prices. But you know what? I don't deal with Pokemon Center ETBs. It's just something I don't deal with. I don't like it. I don't deal with it. I understand the scarcity to it. But for me, it feels more like a hype thing rather than good value in the actual box. I just can't get the idea behind it. Same when it comes to Chinese exclusives. I just don't really get the idea behind it. Okay, the cards are cool. Why is it a $3,000 card? So what I do is, instead of trying to figure them out, I just stick in my own lane, right? I stick to 151 and Paldean Fates. I've been talking about this for a while. When I would cover Megas, when I would cover Chinese exclusives, I would always work that. I would always end the video saying, I'm just sticking to these. I would always say that. I would always say I'm always just sticking to these. Now that these are starting to see some growth, people are kind of commenting my videos and saying, hey Sam, should I be buying this? And my answer is yes, I would absolutely be buying it. But you really should have been buying it a couple months ago. And I don't think it's this kind of thing where you can kind of look at it and just go, yeah, I know, Sam, I should have been buying it, but should I buy it now? Like, no. What you should do is you should just buy it, get out of the way, whatever, but you need to improve. Because if you keep this cycle where you just FOMO into the next thing, it will cook your portfolio. Now, I think now is the best time to use this as an example because there are so many new trading card games coming out. So first of all, this is what people have done. They've gone from Pokemon to Final Fantasy from Magic the Gathering, to Riftbound from League of Legends, to Gundam from Gundam, to the Spider-Man TCG, and then the Avatar trading card. Like, they're trading every single possible thing and every single new release. People say to me, hey Sam, should I buy Mega Evolutions, the base set? My answer is no. Why would you? It's a pretty boring set. Like, it's cool, but this is something I said in another video, that Lucario cannot carry a set. He's a cool Pokemon, pretty popular, yeah, definitely up there, but he can't carry a set. The Charizard set looks amazing, but the base set, it doesn't look that good. So it's almost like people are always trying to buy the new thing, right? Like, Destined Rivals is a great example. You know how boring it's going to be to hold Destined Rivals? You're going to have to hold on to that for years on end. But you know what? People are going to come in 2-3 years' time and they're going to say to me, they're going to say, Sam, should I be buying Destined Rivals at $1,000 a booster box? Or, okay, that's a bit ambitious. At $500 a booster box, should I be buying it? And my answer is like, yeah, you should, I guess. But dude, you had 2 years. What were you doing? Were you chasing these new releases? Because when people make posts online showing them having 1,000 prismatic ETBs, or you see that this recent store had no limit and you miss out on buying a bunch of prismatic at retail, it sets this FOMO that you're doing something wrong. And I want to make this video to give a clarity, you're not doing anything wrong. If you're investing in this, realistically, you're already winning. If you want to invest in Chinese, that's great. I don't really personally want to. I don't touch it. It doesn't concern me in any way. If you succeed in it, that's great. If your mate succeeds in buying Japanese and Chinese exclusives, that's great. But I find success in buying stuff like this, in just buying the top sets. Very simple formula. I did the same with Sword and Shield. Lost Origin, Fusion Strike, Evolving Skies, no more, no less. Same with this. Paladin Fates, 151 Prismatic Destined Rivals, no more, no less. Now, you must see all these boxes here and you're thinking, oh, no more, no less. What's this going on about? So all these boxes I plan to sell and put them straight into Destined Rivals. It's just because I am so good at what I do, and I don't mean that in a cocky way, but I'm able to maximize my gains. See, a lot of people can't accurately predict what the prices of boxes will be in the future, myself included. But what I can predict, based on going on years and years of data, is I can accurately predict that Paldea Evolved in the next couple of years will see a higher percentage growth than Destined Rivals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my money in Paldea Evolved, and they're going to put it in Destined Rivals. Now, just some FAQ here. Why do I have Destined Rivals? I got these at retail. If I got them at retail, I'm not going to sell them and just buy them back later. Might as well just hold them. But for this Paldea Evolved here, I'm already up like 70, 80, 90% of my money. I don't know the exact number. It's something like that, right? If they 2x from here, that means I'm up like almost 400% on my original buy price. So what am I going to do? I'm going to get that money and I'm going to funnel it into Destined Rivals. So instead of just buying straight Destined Rivals, what I've done is I've bought Paldea Evolved and then I bought Destined Rivals. But you know what? That might sound really intelligent. Like, if you're watching this video and you're thinking, wow, Sam, you really know what you're doing. It's really obvious to me, and for a lot of people it's really obvious, but you know why? It's because we all stay in our own lanes. So if you're considering buying that PSA 9 Chinese card, or that Thai Championship card, or something as like a risky play, I just wouldn't recommend it. And the reason why I wouldn't recommend it is because you just should stick in your own lane. Think about how much I'm going to maximize my gains by doing this. I'm going to take advantage of hopefully Journey Together Enhanced boxes prospering and doing well, which, I mean, they've been going up a bit, but they haven't been going that crazy. And then Paldea Evolved, if that can do some serious numbers next year because it goes out of rotation, what I'm going to do is I'm going to funnel that money to Destined Rivals. Let's do some quick math. Each Paldea box goes for $400. Let's just say by some miracle it doubled in price by next 2026, right? Let's just say December 2026, they're $100 a box by some miracle. Now, Destined Rivals boxes is $300. Now, I would say that it's probably going to be roughly the same price. And the reason is because I don't see that much growth in a set that's not even a year old. Like, within that time frame, I just don't really see that much growth. So let's just say $325 to be safe. It's after all these reprints and restocks, it's gone up a little bit, I guess, because it's getting closer to going out of rotation. So, like, FOMO is starting to kick in, I suppose. So let's just say $325 for Destin Bridles, and $800 for Paldea. So I just did the rough math on it, and if I were to sell my Paldea boxes and buy Destin Bridles right now, once again, I want to stick to the meat and potatoes, the best of the best, so I don't want to hold Paldea Evolved long term. Okay, so let's just say I were to sell those boxes and put it into Destin Bridles. I would have 13 more booster boxes. Just ignore what I've got here, okay? Just ignore those boxes. From Paldea Evolved to Destin Bridles, I would have 13 boxes. Now, if I were to wait until December next year, Destin Bridles has gone up by about 10%, but Paldea Evolved had a great year. It went out of rotation, throw a set in for the set, and it's done amazing. I would be able to afford 24 booster boxes. That's a whole 11 more booster boxes. That's no laughing matter. 11 booster boxes is considered a pretty decent holdings. I mean, 11 booster boxes, that's 3.5k, about 3.5k. If you told someone you had 3.5k in investments, especially as someone like me, next year I'm going to be 21 by then, they would think like, oh, bravo, you've got 3.5k in investments. Good job, you're 21, doing very well. But little do they know, that is just like a small micro trade of a long-term plan. That's like not even scratching the surface. And that's just simply by playing it smart. But you see, this isn't my first time. This is not my first rodeo. I've done this tons of times. Prismatic Evolution is a great example. I was able to accurately predict it would sell out upon release. So what did I do? For any stores that had pre-orders like months in advance, I bought up all their supply. I bought 100 Elite Trainer boxes, sold them at the inflated price that they were, and now I'm buying them back slowly, way at a discount, right? Now, you can't really do this if you're chasing every single thing. If you're chasing PSA 10 cards, and then Chinese cards, and then Japanese cards, and vintage, and mid-era, and all these different eras, you're just going to end up spreading your brain with a bunch of knowledge. And what's going to happen is, you're going to have a bunch of mid-knowledge that doesn't get you anywhere, okay? In order to excel in your field, you need to have greater knowledge than everybody else. But the problem is that if you spend only a couple hours in each industry, being, you know, mid-era, vintage, and all the other ones, the problem is all you're going to know is just the basics, when there's people like me killing it in those industries because they know exactly what they're doing. I don't want to be like cocky or anything. I just want to be clear. I'm using myself as an example because I want to be clear. That's my plan with this. I don't plan to hold any Gundam. I don't plan to hold any Godzilla TCG. I don't plan to hold any Chinese Gengar 151. If I got a notification that there was a reprint tomorrow and they were going to do a massive reprint of the 151 Gengar set, I would not be able to give a flying shit. People are going to buy it, people are going to make money on it, and that's great. But I can't sleep at night knowing what's going to happen. Is my box fake? I don't know how to authenticate it. I don't know what source I got it from. A random person in China sold it to me. I can't trust them. How am I supposed to? There's so many good fakes coming out. How am I supposed to authenticate it? Where do I sell it? There's all these different things, and it creates all these problems. All for what? Just to learn another industry when I'm already doing well in this industry. Now, I just want to be clear, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't try new things, but what it means is if you can do well at something, why change, right? If English investing doesn't become profitable in many years to come, I would just stop doing it. I don't need to prepare for this doom and gloom. Like, if it ends up happening where it just doesn't really go up anymore, okay, I'll just sell them and move on with my life. But if you want a quick fun fact, if this ever goes to zero, Japanese and Chinese went to zero already, right? So I'm investing in the safest bet, but it just does the best percentage-wise anyways. So a lot of people have said to me, like, this guy commented on my video and he said he's so lucky because he bought Paldea and Fates a couple months ago and, you know, now he's up way more in his money. It's not lucky. That's not lucky in the slightest. That's not luck. That is foreseeing the potential in a set. Was the Bubble Mew popular then? Absolutely. Was the Charizard popular then? Absolutely. But to the level that they are now? Nah. That Bubble Mew is almost the most expensive card in Scarlet and Violet. You can see the Umbreon SIR start off unorganically, rigged all the way to the top, being a $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 card off of fake auctions and short printed supply on the release day of Prismatic. So that Umbreon took the throne, cheating its way there. But guess what? The Bubble Mew, after reprint and reprint, I mean, realistically, there wasn't that many reprints, but after a couple reprints, even so, it doesn't matter. It has organically gone up. Would you rather invest in a set where the chase inside organically goes up because the desire for the card inside grows more and more? Or would you rather invest in a set where the top chase is so expensive, but it almost cheated its way there? I'm not saying it's a one or the other. You can buy both. But at the end of the day, it was not luck foreseeing Paldean Fates would eventually take the throne as, in my opinion, the best holiday set of Scarlet and Violet. I mean, you watch my list from a couple months ago. I made a list of the best sets of all time, and I put Paldean Fates at like number 6 or like number 5 of every single set in Pokemon history. Now, every single day, people agree with that more and more. How was I able to foresee that? Because I just stick in my own lane. I just know it, not better than anybody else, but I know it better than most people. And that's why when people will comment saying that they don't think Evolving Skies can match the games of Team Up, they don't think that Evolving Skies can go up a lot more, and they don't necessarily comment it on my comment section because you guys are actually really smart. You guys very, very, like, bravo. My comment section, you guys are full of, like, very, very smart people. But in other forums that I see, people just make the most brain-dead claims whenever it comes to Sword and Shield boxes. They say that Fusion Strike can't go up more, which is bullcrap. But they say Evolving Skies, oh, well, it can't possibly be a $3,000 booster box. It can't possibly be a $4,000 booster box. That's not possible. And they said that years ago. Now that it is, people are saying, all right, but there's no way it's going to be a $10,000 booster box. The problem is when people are small-minded. They try to like add everything to be a pattern, right? Like they try to be like, why is an X and Y Evolutions booster box $2,000 when the top chase inside is only $1,000 as a PSA 10? Now that makes no sense. And they'll just go on and ramble about how it makes no sense. Okay, well let's look for a second. It's a reprint of base set, so it already has a premium there. Yes, it was reprinted a whole shit ton. Yeah, you guys don't need to bombard my comment section. Yes, I know it was reprinted a lot. But eventually, like I say in almost every single video, the demand eventually catches up to the supply. So it realistically does not matter if it was reprinted a lot in the long run, because if the set is good, the supply will diminish and yada yada, right? So what happened was the demand eventually got to all the supply, but also on top of that, I feel like it was almost like people's way to own a base set booster box. It was like the closest thing you could get to it. So I think it has this type of premium because it's connected to Gen 1 and it's very like special in a sense, right? That's why, in my opinion, I believe the most exclusive product of all of Scarlet and Violet will, number one, be Pokemon Center ETBs. Very funny. You guys love Pokemon Center ETBs. It's really funny because I don't buy them. Personally, I mean, they're great. Sure, they go up a lot. Sure, but I just don't really bother with them. I had Surging Sparks Pokemon Center ETBs. I bought a case for retail and yeah, I sold them. Obviously, I made $1 bajillion off of it. It was such a pain in the ass to liquidate it, and when I struggled to sell a $200 or $300 ETB, but I have no issue selling a $5,000 booster box, that was truly when I looked at that and went, alright, yeah, I'm never touching this shit again. Like, liquidating Pokemon Center ETBs, I've just had so much trouble with it. Maybe it's just me, maybe it's where I live, but me personally, all the other stuff I do works, so I don't really need to touch Pokemon Center ETBs. If it works for you, that's great, just doesn't really work for me. Anyways, I believe the most premium item of all of Scarlet and Violet will be 151 Pokemon Center ETBs. Now, that's not exactly a crazy claim to say, but I believe, not talking about Pokemon Center ETBs, because they have just put their foot in the door as like the premium product, I believe what will be a very, I just need to like feel for it. Wait, oh, there we are. I believe 151 displays is going to be a very, very premium item. The reason is because I know we're all desensitized. Yeah, alright. So I know we're all desensitized to the artwork, but let me just ask you, when was the last time we got a white box? Like, genuinely, when was the last time we got a white box for anything? Okay, now, some of you guys are saying Brilliant Stars ETBs. Now, just hush for a second, okay? Other than Brilliant Stars ETBs, when was the last time we got a white box for realistically anything? More importantly, when was the last time we got a white box, specialty set, and a Gen 1 Pokemon at the front? It's pretty much never happened. This artwork is amazing. So, when 151 came out, everybody was just stunned. First of all, the artworks are amazing. We all get that. But everybody was stunned by the artwork. This was regarded as the best looking artwork Pokemon has ever made. And you know what? I still believe it to this day. Now, we see 151 everywhere, so we are so desensitized to it. We're so desensitized to 151. It's the same as how people were desensitized to Lost Origin, Silver Tempest, Fusion Strike, because they saw it everywhere. But you know what? Eventually, people started to forget about it. Then they would remember it one day and go, you know what? That Fusion Strike Boosters box is really, really nice. Earlier, I was able to predict that specifically Fusion Strike would do really, really well percentage-wise. But something I didn't pick up on was how good the box artwork was. Like, I looked at the set and I was like, yeah, Gengar, Espeon, Mew, it'll do well. But I didn't think that box art is the best booster box art, in my opinion. I believe Fusion Strike is the peak of booster box artworks. Pokemon have never even come close ever since to getting to a close artwork to that. So, I think the closest thing they've ever gotten, like, I'm talking about booster box. However, I think this is in a very similar situation because when it came out, it was a breath of fresh air. Now people are like really desensitized to it, but they won't last. The idea of being desensitized to something because it's everywhere only lasts until it's no longer there, right? People don't realize what they truly had until it's gone, right? So I think the same thing is going to happen with 151. So it may not be justifiable to buy a display of bundles, but what I think is going to happen is I think it's going to be such a nice display, it will immediately stick out in anybody's collection. I reckon in 10 years' time or 5 years' time, people will show their collection and people will go, ooh, whoa, hang on, is that a 151 sealed display? Like, it'll be like this recognizable thing, right? Like, yeah, okay, Paladin Fates, love the set, love everything about it. It's got nothing on 151. Prismatic Evolutions. No Prismatic Evolutions item has anything on 151. Anything. 151 boxes is the best looking box, and I would credit, in my opinion, in 10 years time, I would credit 30 to 40% of its box price purely by the artwork of the sealed box. It's a must have. You need to have it in your collection. You can't possibly not have it in your collection. It literally features every single 151 Pokemon on the box. Name another box that is like that. Name a box that is so colorful and beautiful like this. You've got the Pokeball plus the Pokemon, but also you got obviously the little like Pokemon like artworks in the back. But the thing that I really like about it is that it has them in different colors based on their type. That is the coolest thing ever. I really, really like it. But here's the thing. I'm sure that in the future there's going to be some Japanese or Chinese exclusive, and I'm sure in 5 years' time there's going to be some Chinese expert that's going to look at that and go, oh yeah, that box, it's a $200 box now. You know what? It's going to be a $1,000 box in the future, and they're going to be completely right on it, and I'm not going to care I didn't buy it. Just like how I had multiple conversations for years on end. People would bring up the debate. People would talk about that Chinese box, 5th anniversary, 10th anniversary. I don't know what it is. But the Chinese box, it was like $100. Now it's like $2,000 or $3,000. I don't care that I missed out on it. When people tell me, they're like, oh, Sam, you sold your Volume 1 booster boxes for, I don't know, what, $40, $30, whatever I sold them for. Oh, well, did you say they're 60 and 70? I don't care. I hear how the Rayquaza Gold Star is up 500%. I don't care. I don't deal with vintage. Not my problem. I don't care. And you need to have this mentality that you just don't care. Because if you don't have this mentality and you try to chase every single price movement, you'll end up catching none of them.